Hi guys, today we're going to be playing with some very sparkly, very dark, very intense, very dramatic things, and I am excited because that is right up my alley. I got two packages yesterday and these are from two different brands, but I thought that we could combine these into one video because this might be the last video that I have time to film before I leave on a 2-week-long trip. So I kind of wanted to make sure I got a video up with these products before I left. So I got a package from Unearthly Cosmetics and they sent me this was their holiday palette that sold out, and then there was such a huge demand to bring this back that they decided they wanted to bring it back because a lot of people missed out on it. And this is called the In the Dark palette. So here's what the palette looks like. Now originally this had, I think, a different shimmer. I don't own the original one, the one that came out for the holidays, so I can't really compare the two, but I know that they switched out one of the shimmers so that the two shimmers in the palette would look a little bit different than they did before. So if you have the original, you probably don't need the new one, but if you didn't get the original, this is a beautiful palette. And honestly, I feel like there's actually quite some similarities between this palette and the palette that I did in collaboration with Unsai. There's a lot of kind of similar tones in here, and if you missed out on that palette, maybe this palette could be sort of a good option for you, because I feel like you could do actually similar looks with this, and probably why I'm so drawn to this color story, because I think it is wonderful. They also sent me their Don't Be Jelly eyeshadow palette. I don't think I'm going to be using this palette in this video because my plan, I think, is going to be, since this is an all shimmer palette, and I also haven't used the All I Ever Wanted palette that Unearthly sent me a little while back when they sent me the second one. Here's what this one looks like. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these two palettes on my trip, and I'm going to use these two as my only shimmers that I'm bringing. I might bring in like some lighter iridescent shades and stuff as well, because I feel like that's sort of lacking in these, but I think I'm gonna bring these two on my trip, and then when I get back from my trip I can give you a review of both of these together and sort of show you some looks that I've done. But I think I want to focus on the In the Dark palette today. I also got a really fun package from Bella Beaute Bar. Now, I've done videos with their brand before and they have come out with some very interesting products. Now these are called the Euphoric Hollow Liquid Chrome eyeshadows, and I am so excited for these. I haven't really seen swatches or anything. We're gonna swatch these together. We're gonna see what they look like, but the packaging on these is so cute. I really like these, and I think that they're gonna go very nicely with the color story of the palette as well. So these are going to be like the shimmers that I'll be using together with the mattes in the Dark palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. I do have a code with Unearthly. It's just it will save you 10% off. I don't think I have a code with Bella Beaute Bar as far as I remember. If I do, it'll be down in my description box, but I don't think I do. But let's go ahead and swatch these because I am so curious. So we're gonna start with this one. This one is called Cassie. I don't know exactly what kind of look I want to do today, so I want to just swatch these out and see what they're like before I make up my mind. So it seems to be a little bit on the sheer side, but it's very pretty. I don't know if I can see like the hollowness in it, but I definitely see a pretty strong kind of turquoise to lilac shift, and it's really pretty. I think this would be beautiful as like a inner portion of the lid kind of shade, so that's probably how I'm going to use this. Let's swatch the darker of the shades here. This one is called Rue, so I'm gonna go ahead and give that a swatch as well. We're just gonna swatch these all. Okay, so that is definitely more opaque than the top one, and they feel really nice and smooth. I really like the doe foot on these. I feel like it's going to be very easy to work with. I might have to bring in a brush to kind of blend the edges a little bit, but that one looks more opaque than the first one. And is there a little bit of a hollow? Actually, I kind of see like little different colored glitter particles in both of these now that I look up close. I feel like these are going to look better sort of in daylight, where you have like the sun hitting you in different ways and stuff like that. I feel like under studio lights, probably not going to be doing these any justice, but just trust me, they look really nice. Next up we have the shade called Jewels, and I feel like this one is definitely the one that looks the most sort of holographic out of the bunch, because it seems to have that sort of gray base with just sparkles in it. So let me just take a look at this from the side. I don't know if that one is hollow either. It could just be like the name that they've decided on. But I do, again, I see, actually, yeah, maybe this one is more hollow. Like, it really depends on the angles that you look at these kind of products, and it's hard to sort of explain. But I do see a lot of different colors in this when I look up close. And again, it's really pretty. It definitely has like a gray to sort of pink shift when you sort of just look at it. That is like the impression I get, but when you get up close and you see like all the sparkles in it, oh, really, really pretty. I can't wait to put these on my eyes. Like, I'm just curious to see how they're going to apply, how they're going to set down, how they're going to wear. Next up is the shade here called Lexi, and this looks to be more of a purple. Again, super smooth, goes on very nicely. This one seems to be nice and opaque. This one is actually kind of similar to the one above. I do feel like I said, I do feel like there is like a hollow aspect to these. The more I look at them, I see those little glitter particles in them. I wonder if Millie is going to receive these in PR. If she is, she will be able to get some beautiful footage of these and really show them off. So I will link her channel down below. What day is it today? It's Friday, so she might put up a video with these on Monday. I don't know if there's been any other multi-chromes and stuff that's come out, but I'm pretty sure that she's probably getting these in PR, and she will definitely make a video with them if she does. So like I said, go ahead and check out her video because she will be able to show these off beautifully. The last one here is the shade called Maddie. This one looks to be a black based something, so we're gonna go ahead and swatch that as well. Man, the texture of these just feel really nice. This one, ooh, that's a multi-chrome. That's definitely a multi-chrome. Now when I look at it straight in the mirror here, it just looks purple, but when I flip it to the side, all I see is just green. Green and a little bit of gold. Yeah, that is a multi-chrome holographic liquid shadow. That is so cool. Super fun. Oh, I also forgot to show you that Unearthly sent me some of their new single shadows. Now, all of these are quite neutral shimmers, and I've said before, I'm not really the biggest fan of like neutral shimmers. So I'm probably going to give these away to someone because I don't want to open them and swatch them just for a video when I know I'm probably not going to want to use these on my eyes when I have so many other shimmers that I know I would rather use over these colors, but I'm sure they're beautiful. And I did want to show you that Unearthly has come out with single shadows, so if that is something you're interested in, I think they're live on their website now. Go ahead and check them out if that is something that you think that you would like. I'm going back and forth here. I also got another thing from Bella Beaute Bar, and these are two more of their sort of flaky holographic, I don't know if they're holographic, but these are like those kind of flaky gel thingies that I've tried before and I really like them. I will say though, I opened one of these and it did seem like a little bit on the dry side, so maybe I'll go ahead and swatch this. I'll show you what it looks like up close. So this is the shade here called Cat, K-A-T. And I feel like the texture is looking a little bit dry, but let me just go ahead and put some on a brush here because I just want to see if I'm able to. Okay, so when I put my brush into it and I start swirling it around, it definitely loosens up and it's not as dry as I originally thought. So let's give this one a little swatchy poo as well. Swatchy poo, that is so funny that I actually said that out loud. Katie, I hope you're proud of me. I will link Katie's channel down below as well. She's the one who says poo anything, and sometimes I get it in my head and I start saying the same thing, so. But she's awesome. You should definitely go ahead and check her out. So that looks really, really pretty. Would be a beautiful inner corner shade. Again, this is sort of that flaky formula, so it can look a little bit textured on the eyes, but it's got such beautiful sparkles to it. I'm not sure if you can properly see that, but I might actually use some of that in my inner corner. That would be really, really pretty. I'm excited to play with these products. I think there's a lot of fun things here, and liquid shadows is still something that I wouldn't say it's out of my comfort zone, but it's something that I don't really work with a lot, that I don't know exactly the best way to work with them, but I think that's one of the reasons why I'm excited, because I like trying new things and it's fun to just experiment, and I think that these liquid shadows here are gonna go so nicely. Like with this palette, look at that. Isn't that like a match made in heaven? I feel like these are gonna be literally perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by priming my eyes with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base as per usual. Before I apply any eyeshadows, let's see if these have dried down. So top one, definitely dry. Second one, definitely dry. It feels a little bit drier and like, how do I explain this? It almost feels like tight on the skin. The second one and not the top one. This one is almost dried down. Yeah, I'd say it's dried down. This one has dried, this one has dried. This one is still a little bit tacky. These do take a little bit longer to dry down, but I think that these are going to probably last quite well. So I'm gonna see, actually let me show you some close-ups, I forgot. Yeah, here is what they look like. Again, I'm not gonna be able to properly like show you the shifts on these, I don't think, but they really are beautiful and you need to just kind of see them for yourself and just trust my word on it when I say that they're beautiful. So let me see what happens when I try to remove these with a makeup wipe. So they are coming off, but they're definitely sticking very nicely here. It's taking quite a bit of rubbing just to get all of these off my hand, which is probably a good thing. Let's begin. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm so tempted to just go all in with the blues. You guys know me, I love blues. I think that's what I want to do. I want to use this blue in my crease, deepen it up with this one, and then maybe use these two sort of purpley shades on my lower lash line. Maybe that could be kind of fun. I feel like the blues are going to look nice with some of these blue eyeshadows, and then I'm going to use some of the purple ones under my eye as well. Maybe that could be a good idea. So I'm just going to start with this one right here, which is called Paranormal. This, like I said, I love the color story of this palette, and I don't know why I didn't buy it when it first came out, because now that I see it again, especially seeing it in real life, it just looks so pretty. So I'm just going to start that in my crease as my transition shade. I'm going to start it quite low down because it is a pretty dark color, and I want to make sure that it doesn't get like super out of hand and that I have room to really blend this out, but oh, I really like that color. So now that I have the pigment where it is that I want it to be, I'm just going to take my time, use the same brush, and just use small circular motions until I have a pretty smooth blend here. I'm probably going to go in and put on a little bit more just sort of as I go along, but I'm just going to use the shade on its own to get a good blend. I mean, for just being one eyeshadow, this looks amazing. And I feel like a sign of a good eyeshadow is one that can be manipulated and blended out and kind of make it look like it's more colors than just one. And I feel like if I were to like really pack this onto the outer corner of my eye, I would get a lot of depth on it and it would look like I was wearing 3 eyeshadows instead of just one. But I am going to go into the darkest of the shades in this palette, which is called In the Dark. And I'm going to take that on the very outer corner of my eye, as well as a little bit on the outer crease, just to really deepen this up and get this nice and dark. Man, Unearthly has a really nice matte formula, especially on their darker mattes. Like, they layer and build so beautifully. Like, see how nice of a blend I'm able to get between these two colors. It's not looking patchy at all on the outer corner. Oh, I really like that. That is beautiful. So let's move on to the lower lash line. I'm gonna use this one first on the outer portion. This one is called what's this called? Preternatural? That is not a word that I know, and I feel like that is a made-up word. I'm gonna use that on the same brush. This is from BK Beauty. It's the A504. I really love this brush. I'm just gonna start smoking that on the outer portion of my lower lash line. Just make sure I blend it into the outer corner nicely. This is such a cool dark purple. My outfit is like not going with this look whatsoever. I did not think this through, which story of my life. I should have known not to wear like warm tones when I knew I was going to be playing with cool tones, but that's just what happens sometimes. I'm gonna take a little bit of the shade Ascend here as well, which is the lighter of the purples, and just put that on the front portion of my lower lash line. And then we're gonna do the fun part, which is the liquid eyeshadows, and we'll see how they end up performing, just see how they feel on the eyes, if they feel crunchy at all, if they dry down nicely, if they're easy to work with. I have no idea. Like I said, I don't really ever use liquid shadows, so I'm quite excited. I think I'm gonna start with this shade. This is the shade called Rue, which was the dark blue. I don't think I'm gonna take it straight from the applicator. I think I'm gonna use a brush. This is a flat brush. It's a 21 from Rephr. I'm just gonna pick some up on my brush, just like so, because I feel like I'm just gonna have a little bit more control that way, and I also don't know, I don't want to put on too much. So I'm gonna start that in the middle of my eye and just sort of drag it out into the outer corner, and that is beautiful. That is going on very smoothly. And it's quite easy to maneuver as well. I do feel like maybe if I use the applicator, I would accidentally put on too much, because I did not put a lot on my brush now, and I'm getting a really nice thin but still opaque enough result that I don't think I need to really build this up. So I'm just gonna do the same on the other eye. Like, I'm almost surprised at how easy this is to work with. Okay, I really like that. That looks so nice. I'm gonna wipe off my brush. I'm gonna dip that back in, and we're gonna use one of the other ones here. So this is the light blue. Can't wait to use this. This is gonna be so pretty. I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna pick some up on my brush, not too much, just a little bit here, and I'm gonna put that on the front portion of my lid. Okay, maybe that was a little bit too much. I'm just gonna transfer a little bit to this side of my eye. Gonna try to work fast before this dries down. That is such a pretty color. Oh man, oh, these are just blending perfectly in together too. And it doesn't dry down so quickly that I don't have time to maneuver these, but I can tell that they're definitely going to dry down quite fast. So you don't want to just put some on your lid and not like start working with it if you can avoid it, because if it dries down in one spot, it's going to be hard to get a smooth application. But this looks so nice. I really like how that looks. Now, do I see any hollowness in it? That I'm not so sure about, but whatever it is, it sure is pretty. I feel like I can tell now that this is dry, and it's probably been around 2 minutes or so, which isn't too bad. I'm gonna take some of this shade, which is called Lexi, and I'm gonna put some of that underneath my eye in the front portion. I definitely don't want to have too much of that, so I'm gonna use a even smaller brush here. Just pick up a little bit and just pop that right here. I feel like this just adds a subtle little pop of sheen on my lower lash line. I do think that this would look way more intense, like all over the lid, than it does in such a small area right here, but it's doing exactly what I wanted to do, and I think it just looks really pretty. Maybe liquid shadows will become a new thing for me. I never thought I'd be that person. But I really like how that looks. Oh, that is so pretty. I am gonna take some of this as well. This was the sort of flaky shade that I swatched on my hand before. This was the shade called Cat. Gonna see if I can just put a little bit of that in my inner corner just for a little extra sparkle. Okay, that was a little bit more than just a little bit. And now I gotta sort of even that out. I'm gonna put a little bit on my top lid as well. I would say these flaky shades are definitely not the easiest to work with, but when you do get them on, they are really, really pretty. Did I put a little bit too much of this on? Maybe. Do I care? No, because this is very nice and sparkly, and I like sparkle. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish off with my eyes, and then we can see how everything is holding up. I don't know if I want to do lashes today or not. Probably not. Probably not feeling it today. So I'm just gonna do some mascara, something in my waterline. Maybe switch out my lipstick. Not sure, but I'll finish off and I'll come back and I will show you the look. Alright, so here's the final look. I decided to just keep my lipstick on. If you're wondering what I am wearing, I'm wearing one of the Caviar lipsticks from Laura Mercier. I did get these sent in PR a while back, and I'm still trying to kind of make up my mind about them. I think they are nice, but they are a little bit on the drying side, and they don't look the absolute best on my dry lips. So I did put a gloss on top, and this is one of the new ones that I got in the Wet n Wild and Stitch collection. I think that video was gone up already. I will link that up in the corner if you want to go check it out, but this is one of the other ones that I didn't try in that video. This is a sort of bluey tinty one, and I knew I was going to do something with blue, so I thought it could look kind of fun. And I really like this gloss. You can't put on too much though, because it will get a little bit gloopy, so small layer at best. Otherwise, you're gonna have a little bit of strings, but just something to keep in mind. But if you just put on a little bit, it looks really nice. It's very comfortable. I feel like it's going to be quite long lasting, and I like the color of it. I think it looks really nice. I also really like this eye look. I think that everything looks beautiful. I mean, looking up close, I do see a little bit of texture just on my eyelids from those liquid shadows, but I think from far away you really would not be able to see that at all, and I think it just looks really, really nice and shiny. And like I said, I'm not sure I can see any like hollowness, especially in this lighting. Probably need to like go in a different lighting to take a look at that, but they were super easy to work with and I didn't have any problems at all. I think these would be beautiful use as eyeliners, or even just like you know, doing a line in your crease or something like that, or doing graphic stuff. I think that these are quite versatile. You can do a lot with them, and I'm excited to keep playing with them. I'm probably going to bring 1 or 2 of them on my trip as well because they're so small. And like I said, I really like the packaging on these. Like, they are, I feel like something like this could easily end up looking quite cheap, but I feel like these actually look really cool and sleek, and there's some weight to them, and they feel expensive, and I like things that feel expensive. So I think that's gonna be my thoughts. I mean, obviously this palette performed like a dream. I love this. I think it is so pretty. I can't wait to keep using this. I think the tones in here are beautiful. I'm excited to use the shimmers in here as well. Really, really pretty. So grateful that they sent me this. I do need to play more with these flaky thingies, but I think it looks really cool in the inner corner. It just adds like a little sparkle, and I am here for that. I would say this was a very successful try on. I'm excited to use these shimmer palettes on my trip. I think I'm going to love them. I'm going to be able to do so many fun looks with those because all shimmer palettes are totally my jam. And I'm probably going to bring my Blend Bunny palettes, and that's going to be it. I'm probably going to bring my own collab palette as well, let's be real, which is no longer in stock, which is why I don't really talk about it much, but I still love it and I still want to use it, so I'm probably going to do that as well. I think that's going to be it for this video. I will make a post on my community tab or something when I'm leaving, just so that you guys know that I'm fine if I don't post for like 2 weeks, which I probably won't, but I will be filming a little bit while I'm gone, so I'll have some content when I get back at least, which is going to be in the middle of July, so that's probably when you're going to be getting your next video. Just a heads up. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day wherever you are, and if you want to see some more Unearthly Cosmetics content, I will put my playlist up there. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.